Now, head guards were actually introduced in 1984 at the Olympics in Los Angeles, and then they were introduced in 1989 at the World Championships in Moscow. And the first Olympics where they were introduced, another weight division was introduced, the super heavyweight division. Before that, it had just been heavyweight division, which is sometimes a bit confusing. Now, the first ever Olympic super heavyweight champion was from Philadelphia, and his name was Tyrell Biggs.
My dad he never let me study the new fighters. Back then, it wasn't about money. It was about being the best.
I thought Tyrell was going to go all the way. I thought Tyrell was going to be champion of the world, heavyweight champion of the world.
Tyrell started disappearing. So I go knock on the door, and he opens up the door. And I just look at him. I said, oh, okay, I was just making sure you're all right. I said, man, I ain't feeling good.
It was maybe a combination of taking advantage of getting paid that kind of money, and then at the same time, having a chance to become the heavyweight champion of the world.
It's almost unfair to forget somebody who is truly the only one who's ever won a super heavyweight Olympic gold medal.
I still can't figure out that myself. Like, what happened to Tyrell Biggs?
Well, you know what did ever happen to Tyrell Biggs? Well, you know what, there's only one man I want to ask, and that's Tyrell Biggs, who's on the line. Now, Tyrell, welcome to Box Nation. Tyrell, first of all, can I ask you, what are you up to these days?
Oh, hey, how you doing? Well, I work over at a place called Shepherd Residency Center, and I help train some of the young future Olympic boxers, hopefully. It's about 2 or 3 young guys that are heading towards the Olympic Games for 2016. I help train them and pretty much look out for the kids over here in the neighborhood.
Tyrell, are you at peace now? Because, you know, you won that gold medal, you turned professional, and then, you know, and I hate to say it, but, you know, you had to fight a lot of demons along the way on both sides of the ropes, Tyrell.
Yeah, that's true, but that's life, and I had to overcome my little problem with drugs and alcohol. I'm coming up on my 30-year anniversary of clean and sober.
Great.
And so things happen, but for the most part, I'm pretty pleased with what I was able to do and accomplish.
Tyrell, let me take you back to California, the summer of 1984, and you're in the Olympic Games. There's some good fighters in there, by the way. Looking at the lineup before you had your first bout, were you confident, Tyrell, hand on heart, that you could take that gold medal?
Oh, well, there was no question. Because of the competition here in the United States just to make the Olympic team.
Good.
I had to defeat one fellow I had to defeat about 2 or 3 times. I believe his name was Craig Payne, and because the competition was so tough here in the United States. Once I beat those guys, then I knew I could take on anybody in the world, which is what I happened to do.
Now that was in many ways a great period for American heavyweights. I know it was 5 or 6 years after Muhammad Ali, Frazier, and Foreman, but there were a lot of good heavyweights. And when you turned pro, you were in the middle of a lot of very good American heavyweights, and obviously Lennox from Canada. But if I look at the heavyweight scene now, Tyrell, what's gone wrong with the American heavyweight scene right now?
Well, you know what? Probably with the heavyweights now, maybe they're changing their interest into basketball and football now or something. I think a lot of the fighters are not really into the boxing now probably because of the other sports that they're participating in. Because they were making so much money in those other sports. So Tyrell, when you're working with these fighters there in California, have you got an extra eye open looking for a guy to walk through the door who's about 6'2", 16 years of age, with a big heart just like you? Oh well, of course. There's always that guy that comes into the gym.
Yeah. Tyrell, in your pro career, what was your highlight? What was your finest night as a professional boxer, Tyrell?
Well, I would probably have to say the fight with Jeff Sims.
Yeah, he was dangerous.
In the States, I think it was the second round. He tried to hit me with a right hand, and I moved out of the way, and he hit my collarbone and broke my collarbone. And Lou Duva and Georgie Benton was working my corner. When I went back to the corner, I told George and them that I couldn't move my arm, and they said that the heck with that. Use your left hand and beat this guy with your left hand.
No way.
And eventually, and that's what I did. I won a 10-round decision, pretty much fight with just my left hand.
Lou Duva, great name. George Benton, an even bigger name, especially in the city you're from, Philadelphia. Well, if I've asked you about the good, Tyrell, what was the lowest point in your professional career?
That was a big letdown when I fought Tyson for the championship of the world. Of course, that would have to be the biggest letdown because I was on the verge of becoming champion of the world.
Well, and
I fell short.
Well, people forget that was a great Tyson. He was 31 fights unbeaten, and you decided to go in there toe-to-toe, so no one could ever question your heart or desire. So, Tyrell, this film that's been made, when's it out? How can people watch it here in the UK?
Well, the film is going to probably be done in January, and we're trying to do they're having the kickstart to get it completed, and probably in January it should be ready to roll, and it happens to coincide with our 30-year anniversary of the '84 Olympics as well.
Tyrell, listen, before I let you go, there's two things. First of all, it's been a delight and a pleasure to talk to you. And can I also apologise? I know that because of some confusion this end, we had you waiting by your telephone for nearly 2 hours, and I'm so sorry about that. And if
that's not a problem.
Thank you.
In this business, that always happens. It's not nothing new.
Tyrell, listen, and also if you could thank Claire as well, because I know she was involved. Tyrell, if you ever get to this country, I've got it on my show here. I have a former world champion called Barry Jones who's on my sofa. It's a lovely big white leather sofa. If you get here, the entire sofa is yours to stretch out on and have a good chat.
Okay, good. Good. I've been here a time or two, and it'd be a good thing to get back there again.
Oh, listen, Tyrell, that would be my pleasure. Tyrell Biggs, thanks very much indeed, Tyrell. Speak to you very soon.
Okay, man. Thank you.
See you later, Tyrell. You know what, Barry, when you look back on those American heavyweights from the 80s and the 90s, now, he wasn't the one that got the world championship. Some of the guys that won world title belts were nowhere near as good as him. He had some demons inside and outside of the ring. I think that with a bit of luck, different luck, he could have been one of the best from that entire decade.
Well, as skill goes, he had it all, because people forget as an amateur, he was world champion as well as Olympic champion.
Absolutely.
So people say about the '84 Olympics, you know, where the Cubans weren't in it, but he won the world championship 2 years before that. So, you know, he cleaned up, and he was something else, wasn't he? And then, you know, he turned pro and he had a good career, but he came up against a Pete Tyson, a Pete Lewis, and a Pete Riddick Bowe, pretty much.
I know, exactly.
You know, like three of the...
Listen, even fought a Pete Gary Mason over here. That was a slugfest and a half.
Do you know what I mean? He just came up against some really good fighters in their prime, and that was it's all about timing, and he just didn't have very good timing.
It's all about timing. Barry Jones, fantastic. Tyrell Biggs. Now.